Okay, so I got my cup of coffee and I'm going to do a few things this morning. First of all, today is Tuesday and we need to prep for Thanksgiving. So go ahead. You should be getting ready to cut up some things, clean up some things. Today I will be cleaning chitlins and I will also be cutting up potatoes, sweet potatoes back there in the background. Cutting up veggies for anything that we need veggies for, celery, doing all of that chopping, okay? So I'm saying that to say that's one of the great things about prep is go ahead and get it done a few days early. Make you some coffee and get prepared.
So you guys, all right, I just finished doing the cleaning process of the chitlins, so the removal of all the gunk and everything. And let me show you guys what I have removed. So all of this is what you want to remove. So any pieces that have all of this, I don't even know, let me see if I can show y'all. All of this have dark stuff, dark matter on it like that, you want to get rid of that. Anything that looks like little kidneys like this, you want to get rid of that. Any of the stringies and all of that, you want to get rid of that. Now, the problem lies in a lot of argument and back and forth with people, because some people feel like you should remove the membrane or the sheer part of the chitlin. So this right here, let me show you guys. When you look at the chitlin right here, it has a clear membrane, right? It has a clear membrane. So right here is the clear membrane and this side is the part that is not. So imagine this silky side is the side where all of the waste runs through. So the problem is everybody's like, you should be separating it. So meaning taking this and separating it like that, right? This clear part will be the part that you dispose of. This is the part that you keep. Now this is the part where a lot of people argue about. A lot of people argue about it because some people say you should be removing or separating the membrane or the silky part from the lining. Now, usually I do separate the lining, but what I notice is when you separate the lining, it takes away from it being the texture that most people are used to. So when you take the lining and you separate it, which is a video that I've already posted, this is also the same recipe that is in my cookbook. But when you do that, it makes it so thin where it's no chew. It's literally like you could just swallow it and you're losing a lot of your product. Now, I felt like doing it that way was like the best way to do it. But now, the last time I made it, like maybe a few months ago, I made it and I did a country style meal. Made this particular chitlins and I did it this style, meaning leaving the liner on, but getting rid of all of that gunk, and I'm going to thoroughly clean them, right? The problem is, I know, well, it's not a problem. The thing is I like the texture of them. Me and my family love the texture of them better leaving the lining on. Something that is going to be very controversial. A lot of people are going to be like, well, take the lining off if you are eating waste and blah, 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 blah. If you know how to clean them correctly, hence, we got rid of all of that. If you know how to clean them correctly, you don't have to worry about that part. If you still see dark parts, you still see a whole bunch of parts that look almost brownish, almost darkish, you see a whole bunch of kidney looking things, you are not cleaning them correctly, okay? So that is the first part of the process. The second part of the process, we're going to use this stuff right here and we're going to clean them extremely well. I'm going to flip the camera and I'm going to let you guys watch me clean them, okay? Calm down to all the people that's out there like, nah, that ain't how you do it. Trust me. This is the way that you can do it if you still want this type of texture. If you want just to swallow them with no chew, go ahead, remove the liner. Still follow the recipe that I have in the cookbook, which is adding all the different seasonings and your bell peppers and all of that good stuff. Gourmet chitlins. Okay, let me show you how I clean these. All right, so as you can see, here is my water, right? My water is not clear. Okay, it is not clear. We know that part. So the first thing is you want to add a good amount of salt. Adding a good amount of salt is going to give you almost like a sandy-like texture, so that when you are lifting them and moving them around, it makes them easy to rub together and rub off all that gook, okay? Second thing, baking soda. You can use store brand, you can use off brand, you can use Arm & Hammer. The choice is yours, okay? But I'm going to wash these chitlins at least like 3 times. Then vinegar. You can use apple cider, you can use white. The preference is yours. Do you see that? That's what you want right there. So when it starts to do that, that's how you know that the acidity from the vinegar mixing with the baking soda, it is going to clean them thoroughly. And I like to just take and rub them together. This is just how I clean mine. Okay? This is very important. This is a part, you guys, my video went viral on TikTok because I showed them how I clean mine, and some people was like, I've never seen anybody clean them that thoroughly. This is just how I do them. I've watched several videos over the years, and I've just taken different techniques from different people to learn how to do them the way that I like them to be done, okay? So I'm just going to keep on doing that. And you're going to repeat this step until your water gets clear. Do you see how dark this water is? It is definitely not clear, not clean, okay? And then, I don't know if you guys can see. I would probably have to wash my hands and get close with the camera. But you can see that there's also, matter of fact, you see that? You see how my hand looks inside of the water when you push it down? You can see all of this gooky stuff and sticky stuff and gooey stuff all on the top, and fat. You want to get rid of all of that, okay? So I do have a stopper in here, so I'm just going to slowly move my chitlins away from the stopper to give that water a chance to kind of drain out, okay? Okay, so y'all seen how many times I cleaned them. Y'all seen, I showed you guys, every single time how the water looked after cleaning them. So now what I'm going to do is I put them in vinegar. You just see me use some apple cider vinegar and some salt. I'm going to cover them up, and I'm going to let them sit in the fridge until I'm going to cook them. As long as they're cold, they'll be fine. Now, the thing about when you go to cook them the first time, and because we are cooking them like this, so in the next cookbook, I'm probably going to have to update the recipe for these, but so you're going to put them in the fridge, and when it's time to cook them, when you go to cook them, you do not season them. You cook them inside of just water. And so you're going to grab them up and put them inside of the water. You let that water boil down. Now, mind you, it's going to create like a foamy type at the top, but that's because of the baking soda, okay? So it's okay. But you're going to cook them down, and then once they start to shrivel up, that's when you are going to dump that water off. Then you are going to add in all of your seasonings, all of your veggies, your potatoes, your choice of vinegar, which is white vinegar or apple cider vinegar. You're going to add in that, and then you're going to cover them up, and you're going to let them cook as usual until they get to the tenderness of your desire. Do you see? There is a long process to this, but it's definitely worth it. I've learned that doing it this way, you should not smell it. If anything, you're going to smell like vinegary type, but other than that, it should be good. And when I tell you, they are going to taste amazing, really clean. Now, let me just add this. There was this older lady whose house I used to go over all the time to do her daughter's hair. And one of the things that she said to me is that she actually cleaned hers with like a tablespoon of bleach. I don't believe bleach is edible. So I'm not cooking mine with bleach in it, but if you feel the need to do another gesture, go ahead. If you feel the need to clean them all over again, go ahead. But mine, my fingers barely can rub together because I removed pretty much all of the oil. So that's one of the good things about this process, cooking it the way that I just showed you. I've learned that this right here has been one of the great processes to getting the best chitlins ever, okay? But they are super, super duper clean. Listen. Do you hear that? That lets you know they are squeaky clean. Okay, so we want squeaky clean chitlins and trash. Do you see? When you clean them right, you clean them right. So I'm going to cover this up with some foil, and I'm going to clean up the sink.
Boom.